everyone. So I can't really believe that I'm making this video, to be honest, because I really didn't expect to be at this point now, but I am 4 weeks pregnant and I still can't quite get my head around it. Like, I feel pregnant and I'll go into that more in a little bit, but I just, when I felt pregnant with Bill, I used to like try and search for videos to watch and stuff, and I think actually one of the ones I remember watching the most will have been like Louise from Sprinkle of Glitters videos with Darcy when she was pregnant, and I remember watching them and thinking like, oh, these are so useful, and it never ever like occurred to me at the time to be doing them myself, and I never thought I'd be confident enough to do this, but I'm really excited. I don't know whether or not this will be my last baby, because we are considering having 3 children in total, but you never know what's going to happen in the future, and I want to kind of like cherish every second of it, and I found these videos really useful, so I think it might be quite nice to do it for other mums. So if you're pregnant at whatever stage that you're watching this, like, hi, well done. And yeah, I'll get started. So I am actually 4 weeks and 2 days pregnant today, according to like my cycles and everything. And I basically wanted to go through like my symptoms really from kind of like 2 weeks pregnant to now. Now, I'll already have done a video on like trying to conceive and everything that we did and the way it all worked out, but if you've already seen that, then you might know that we started trying officially at the very end of July, and we were going to wait until the very end of like August or early September, but we just like, it kind of felt right, and we've been having a chat and thinking, why are we waiting? Like, we really want this. This is really important to us, so let's just try, because we're aware that it can take, you know, quite a long time to conceive. What we hadn't bargained on was how lucky we'd actually be, and it looks like from my dates and everything that I've worked out that we actually conceived on the first try, as in like the actual first time that we did the deed and stuff. But anyway, so I really didn't expect to be here, and you know when you start trying for a baby, if you've done it before, you do start thinking, is that a symptom? Is that a symptom? I feel a bit different. Is that a symptom? And slowly but surely it started becoming quite like, okay, this can't be just a coincidence then. So I wrote some notes as I was going. They were for my benefit at the time, so I would understand like what to expect in future months of trying, but I thought I would go through them all and see if that like helps anyone. So on the 1st of August, bearing in mind that I think that I ovulated on the 30th of July, which was a Thursday, so this was a Saturday, and this would have been like 2 days post-ovulation, which I think in trying to conceive, like TTC terminology, is DPO. So if I continue saying like 2 DPO, 3 DPO, then I'm saying 2 days post-ovulation, because I'm just lazy. So yeah, it was the 1st of August and it was 2 DPO, and I felt like pretty much fine at that point, but at one point during the day, just before I was about to go and do like a food shop with Bill, I felt randomly like nauseous just for like a couple of minutes, and then it went away, and then I was absolutely fine. And then so I carried on with my day, and like nothing was really different. And then when it got to 3 DPO, which was the 2nd of August, I started having a little bit of backache, and the weirdest thing for me, and it might be a bit TMI, but I can't help you unless I'm honest, is that I started feeling really constipated, and this isn't a thing that I tend to suffer with. I do have a really like decent diet, and I was thinking, oh, this is a little bit weird, like I don't normally feel like this. By the 3rd of August, which was 4 DPO, I started having like weird like pulls and tugs in my tummy, which I didn't really know what that was, but I was also tired and very, very bloated, and the bloat is something that I've like had ever since then. I did feel a little bit nauseous, and I did then have like a funny uncomfortable tummy. Like I was still constipated, but I had like really bad like wind and like really bad discomfort, and my back was really, really starting to ache by that point. On the 4th of August, which was 5 DPO, I had really, really bad backache by this point. I was tired, struggling to concentrate. Sorry, I'm looking at my phone if you're wondering. I had a little bit of egg white cervical mucus. Sorry, ew. I hope you're not eating eggs while watching this. I was really, really hungry as well, and this was the point where I just started craving comfort food. And obviously, if you've watched my videos in the past, you'll know that I've like been on a diet. Well, not a diet, I've lost a lot of weight, and it isn't like me to give in to like comfort foods and like things that I really crave these days, because I know what it's going to do to my body. But I just, anything to do with like, you know, breads and cheeses and pizzas and things like that, I just really, really wanted it, and anything else just made me feel like, oh no, don't give me that. And I felt really, really bloated again at this point, gassy, and generally quite disgusting. So 5 DPO was really when I started feeling like really crappy. On the 5th of August, which was 6 DPO, I had a really, really sore back again, and I remember having a meeting with one of my colleagues and having a really hot flush, and I remember going to her like, oh god, I'm really hot, are you really hot? I feel like I'm having a hot flush. And she just looked at me like I was a bit mental. I was really, really hungry again, tired, and again still constipated, which was so annoying. On the 6th of August, which was 7 DPO, I had a really sore back again. I was hungry, I felt a bit sicky, I had an achy stomach, I was gassy, I was really tired, I had burps as well, like really weird, like I just kept belching for no reason, which was a bit bizarre, and I had tingling nipples, a bit like the letdown sensation you get when you breastfeed. And it was really weird because it was happening at work, and I was like, oh my god, Mark, like I messaged him and I was like, I don't know what's happening to my nipples, and he's like, babe, we're at work. And I was like, no, I think it's like a pregnancy thing. And it was around this point that I was starting to get a little bit like, what's going on here? I also had heartburn at this point, which was very strange. On the 7th, oh, there's a cat. I was really creeped out then, I wonder what that was. On the 7th of August, which was 8 DPO, I was starting to get less constipated, but way more gassy, way for me, I'm so lucky. But it was here that like down there started to feel a bit strange. I started to get what I felt like thrush-like symptoms, just like general discomfort, but it was only like towards the night time, and I thought, this is really weird, this is not like me, I never get this. My wee was quite strong and like smelled weird, like, you know, like asparagus wee, but a different kind of smell. Even though I was like drinking loads and my hands were getting quite dry. I had an ache on the right side of my stomach, and I was so tired. I've written tired, so tired. But I was in a really good mood, and I just started to like flag with energy throughout the day. And it was here that I was thinking, oh god, could I be coming on my period? But obviously it didn't happen. Now the 8th of August, which was 9 DPO, was the day that really made me think, okay, I've got to be pregnant. I woke in the morning, and when I went to the toilet, I had like brown discharge, and I was like, whoa, what's this? Like, I never get that, not even when I'm starting my period. Literally with my period, it's like, you know, go to the toilet 1 second, nothing there, go to the toilet a few hours later, and it's like, well, hey, party down here. It's horrible. So that was really unusual for me. I started to feel like less constipated again, and my thrush symptoms were less bad, but I had really bad tummy ache at this point, and I felt sick in the car on the way to work, but I did feel really happy and content, and I was thinking like, these are really weird and I don't feel moody, so what's going on with me? It can't be my period. Then that night, I went to bed as normal, and I woke up in the middle of the night with really bad like thrush-like symptoms. And I know this is gross, but I'm being honest, this is what happened. Maybe it'll happen to you, I don't know. And it was about 4 o'clock in the morning, and I went to the toilet and I just couldn't get comfortable. So I ended up having a bath at 4 in the morning to like soothe it. And I remember lying in the bath for an hour, and eventually it went away, and then I got back in bed, and then in the morning it was absolutely fine. Like, it went away, and I was like, what is going on? I also woke that morning having a really vivid dream, and that was kind of like it for me. I was like, okay, this is what I had with William. I had really vivid dreams. Sorry, here, burp symptom again. And then it was at that point that I had a feeling. Mark had gone to Preston to watch the first football match of the season, so he was driving on his way, and I just thought, like, something's up here, like, this is really weird. And I thought, right, I'm gonna take a test. And I was talking to my friend at the time, and she said, like, you know, she knew that I was trying to conceive, and she was like, take a test, because you never know. And I was like, yeah, but I'm only like about 10 days post-ovulation, I think, and I just didn't expect anything to show up. So I took a test, and then I was just sat there, like, and my legs were shaking. I like put the seat down on the toilet, and I was sat there, like, and the test was on the floor, and I kept looking down at it, and I was like, oh my god. Like, I'm sure I'm not pregnant, I'm sure I'm not pregnant. And I think I was doing that thing where I was trying to like big myself up to the fact that I wouldn't be pregnant, and I was absolutely fine with it. But then I looked down and I was like, holy moly, what is that? And I could see a faint line, but I was looking down at it from like an angle, so I was like, is that, you know, like just the light or something? And I picked it up, and I was absolutely shocked because there was definitely a really faint line. Now, this was a Boots test. I have it with me now, and it was so faint that the line's actually, like, you can't see the line anymore. But it was one of these, and as you can see, you can't see the line there anymore, but it was really faint, and it was definitely there. And Boots aren't generally renowned for like picking up early pregnancies very well. I always hear the Superdrug ones are well recommended, and the first response ones. So I was in shock by that point, and I rang Mark, and he was in the car on the way to the match, and I was like, okay, are you still driving? And he was like, no, like, I've pulled over because, you know, you called, and I thought you might have like bad news or something. And he was expecting that I might have started like, you know, bleeding and come on. And I was like, Mark, I think I'm pregnant. And he was like, what? He's like, how do you know? And I was like, because I've taken a test. And he's like, you've taken a test? I was like, seriously, there's a line, and I've already sent you a picture on Messenger. And he was like, you tried to break it to me on Messenger. And I was like, no, but I wanted you to be able to see and wanted to know what you thought. And yeah, it was like, it was so hard because then he wasn't going to be home for like hours, literally about 6 hours. So I kind of tried to get on with the rest of my day, and we went to the shops. We went to Waitrose, which is really near my house, because we needed some toilet roll. And I went there with William, and I picked up a set of pregnancy tests, and I picked up a clear blue one, and it came with one of the clear blue plus tests in it, and then a digital as well, which I quite like the look of, because I thought I could use this one first, and then if that comes up as negative, then obviously I'll wait and I'll use the digital at another time, or use it in the next cycle or something. But this one, and you can still see very faintly, if you can see it, I don't know if you can, it's a very faint line there. And this is where I pretty much started hyperventilating. And I took the clear blue digital from the same sample, did it like in a cup of wee in case it was a positive and I could test again. And I sat there and waited, and then pretty quickly actually it came up with pregnant, and then 1 to 2 weeks. And I was stunned. There's something, I mean, seeing the line is amazing enough, but seeing the words pregnant, it was just amazing. Sorry. And I really couldn't believe it. So, sorry, Bill's just come downstairs. He's been watching the iPad in my bed, weirdly. So yeah, it was then getting that 1 to 2 weeks pregnant result that made me think, okay, so how pregnant am I? Because after doing like loads of research online, I know it's quite rare to get a positive pregnancy test this early. I wasn't even expecting my period until like, I'm not even expecting my period until like next week, but I'm obviously pregnant. And so I started counting back, and the best case scenario that made sense really would be that we conceived on the very first time we had sex, which would have been...
Mama, I'll go for wee-wee.
Okay, William's going for a wee-wee, which would have been like 10 days previous, and it kind of made sense. The only thing that like I felt really lucky about and quite shocked about was that my cycles are normally quite long, and I thought, oh, well, that means I would have ovulated much earlier than I ever would have thought. So it's almost by chance that like the time that we decided to do it was just a time that felt right for us as a couple. Like, you know, it was a really, really nice like moment to just spontaneously decide, whoa, hair, to start trying, and it was really special. And I don't know whether or not we would have conceived otherwise, because I would have been aiming for much earlier on, no, much later on in my cycle, if that makes any sense. It's all very confusing. So yeah, so I went with, okay, it's probably like the Thursday or the Friday, so I'm either 10 or 9 days post-ovulation, I've got a positive pregnancy test. And I thought, right, well, the way that I can like prove that that's the case is to take another digital pregnancy test and see if it goes up to 2 to 3 weeks pregnant the following week. So I got to Thursday and I tested again, and lo and behold, it says 2 to 3 weeks pregnant. So I thought, right, well, Thursday must have been the day. It's the one that makes the most sense. It's the one that fits most with symptoms and things like that. And yeah, so that's like how I am now. Now, I intended for this to be like from weeks 2 to 4, but I've kind of only just got up to 4, so I'm going to end that there because I've been rambling on like a crazy person, and I will do another video with my 4 weeks pregnant update, just so you know how I'm feeling now, any like proper symptoms now it's all sunk in, and you know, the way I'm feeling and things like that with the tummy shot. So I will see you then. I'm pre-recording all of these, so while I know I'm pregnant, none of you do, which is really weird. But yeah, I will see you in that next video, and thank you so much for watching, and for coming on the journey with me, because I'm so excited. This baby is so wanted, and I still can't quite believe it. Bye.